Going really fast in slow motion. I'm putting on primer right now. I'm going to apply the primer in an upwards motion all over my face, my eyes, my forehead. Don't forget the neck. Alright, it looks like I've just very slowly getting the primer worked into the pores. Yeah, gotta check the hair too. Okay, so here we go. I'm applying my foundation. I use Currently Fit Me by Maybelline. I'm usually a MAC foundation girl, but I've been going through so much foundation that I've just decided that I'm going to buy a less expensive foundation and try to put my money towards things like highlighters and contour kits as opposed to foundation, which is important, but I go through so much of it. As you can see, I'm putting quite a lot on. I like to do little dots to kind of evenly space the foundation around my skin. And I just need to apply a little bit more to get the neck there. And lots of foundation all over the neck, just starting to go down towards the chest. And I'm going to take a beauty blender and I'm just going to beat my face with it. There's my beauty blender. I'm demonstrating how to beat that foundation into your face for a nice even complexion. Nicely space out the makeup, make sure it's an even tone all throughout your face and neck. So as I said before, it's a beating motion on the face, and on the neck is a downward pulling motion. And I think as you can see there, my computer is about to die and I have to plug it in. So I am terribly sorry about that. Okay, so there I go, I'm blending the neck. Nice downward pulling motion there. You can see there are some that I've missed on the lower neck there and in the chest. Now I'm back to beating my face, making sure that I haven't left any little spots of foundation, really blending that in, making it nice and even and consistent. And being sure to get a nice even coverage over the eyes, cover up some of those bags, hide how tired I am. Looks like I'm happy with it. So, next step, I'm going to do some contour here. It's my Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit. I'm going to take my wide-angled brush and apply my contour shade just on the cheekbone, making sure my angled brush is in the proper shape, making a little face, and going from the top of the ear to the hollow, not going past the corner of the eye, and on the other side, top of the ear to the hollow of the cheek, and I'm showing you this lining up right nicely with the corner of my eye there. Next I'm going to contour my forehead, and I'm going over with my wide-angled brush, just making sure that I cover the hairline really nicely, and later on I will blend that in. It will help to just very nicely fade from light to dark on my forehead. Next I'm going to take a concealer brush I'm going to do my under eye with a nice creamy concealer. I mixed 2 shades for my concealer. A nice beige tone with a reddish brown tone, so I can get all of the tones of my skin color under my eye. I like to just brush it on so it's nice and quick with a little concealer brush there. Okay, and so my next step, I'm going to take out my Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Contour Kit. And that's the complexion brush by Sephora. So I'm just going to take my complexion brush and I'm going to stamp it into the area. It looks like I just need to touch up that concealer there. That can happen. So there's me with my complexion brush, and I'm just going to stamp in that color over the concealer that I did. This is going to help set my under eye in preparation to bake my under eye. When I do makeup, sometimes my eyes water a little bit, so you might see me use a tissue. So there we go, it looks like my eyes are nicely set there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bake my under eye with some loose finishing powder. Okay, so again with the complexion brush, I'm just going to go over the setting powder that I put on. And this is called, I'm baking my under eye here. This loose finishing powder will essentially bake the skin, make it nice and firm, and it will help give a look of smooth and matte instead of big bags under my eyes. Alright, and I'm just baking the nose all over the under eye. You can see that I am now eye bag free. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some powder, and I'm going to blend in the contour that I did earlier. So I'm just taking my powder brush, I'm going over that forehead contour that I did. Now I said it would nicely fade from light to dark in the forehead, giving that nice contoured look. Now I'm going over the contour that I did on my cheekbone. Just blending that in really nicely in an upwards motion, giving the cheekbone appearance of being elevated. On the other side. Okay, well, we're just about done with the cheekbone. Just make sure that's nicely blended in. You don't want to have a dark line across your face. That's good. It's giving me a nice look like my I've got nice high cheekbones, almost like a prosthetic that you would see in Hollywood, but it's drawn on. And you can see I'm just retouching this side, just making it a little bit more prominent. Alright, and it looks like the next thing I'm about to do is just brush off my bake. You want to nicely brush off that bake. Your skin can start to burn if it is left on too long. Just take a clean brush and just really nicely brush off all that loose finishing powder that you use to bake your under eye and your nose. Okay? It's my Love Flush Blush by Too Faced. I'm going to take a little Chanel Kabuki brush here and I'm going to apply my blush. I like to smile, expose the blush point, and just in a nice circular motion, just apply the blush. And to the other side. Oh. Alright, so it looks like it's one of my favorite parts, my eyebrows. That's my Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyeline Pomade. Or I'm sorry, that is a dip brow pomade. Sorry about that. So I'm just brushing the eyebrows in an upward motion to expose the lower hairline of the eyebrow. And on the other side, and just up and out. And then I'm going to take my angled liner brush here, okay? And I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, just very lightly, and I'm going to start at the outer corner of the eyebrow. So I like to be a little bit more heavy-handed on the outside, and as I get towards the center of my face, I sort of start to lighten it up a little bit. So it kind of similar to a faded brow, but not quite as intense. Okay, and I'm going back in my angled liner brush, okay? And then I'm going to just brush the brows down this time now that I've traced the underside of the brow, okay? So downwards on the eyebrows to expose the upper hairline of the eyebrow. Alright, I'm just taking a little powder in my forehead just to make sure it's not starting to sweat there. And I've got my brows nicely brushed downwards. Going back in with the Anastasia Dip Pomade there, getting a nice little arch and point to the eyebrow. And I'm very light-handed as I get towards the center of my face. Okay, and then I'm just doing the same thing on the other side. I'm going to fill in the middle a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to brush across and down, tidy up the eyebrows here. And all that hair in where it should be, nicely combed. I'm going to fill in the middle here. As I said, more heavy-handed at the outer edge and light-handed in the inner center of the face. I'm going to do a nice straight line on the top and bottom. And I'm going to brush up just in the center there on either side. And brush down at the corner. Going back in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit. This time I'm going to take this little tiny brush. I don't have a name for it. I just found this brush to do what I need to do, essentially a very tiny little brush that I use to precision point these concealer marks just above and below the eyebrows that I did, just to make them a lot more neat and tidy. You have to be extremely precise, so that's why I use such a small brush. It's also very important that you blend it in really well. So I've gone over the top, and now I'm going to go under the eyebrow. That will help me to achieve the exact shape that I want. Okay, and I like to do some just straight in the middle. As you can see, I kind of have the brows on sort of like a perpendicular angle there. They're perfectly even, but they're on a slight angle. As you can see that I go in with that little brush there. And then I'm just going over it, I'm blending it in really well, just making sure that it doesn't look like there are two bright lines on either side of my eyebrow, doing some blending right in the middle there. Just tidying up the under eye there, okay. I'm going over the eyelid, fixing it up, blending it in. And I go over the eyelid just to prep for eyeshadow with concealer. And it'll give me a nice canvas where I can put my eyeshadow. You can see my face is looking nice and even toned now. Doesn't look quite as dramatic as it does before you blend in the contour. And just make sure you blend that up into your forehead and make sure your skin looks nice and even. And you're just gonna do a last comb here, just make sure the brows are nice and neat. Alright, and then I have my Sweet Peach eyeshadow palette. I'm going to use the color White Peach. I'm going to go over the concealer that I put on my eyelid with White Peach, just to, again, help those colors to pop. Alright, just finishing up. This is my concealer brush, by the way, for the eyelid. And I'm just touching up the eyelid in preparation for eyeshadow. And I need a drink break, so I'm having a little drink. Alright, back to it. So this is my Urban Decay Full Spectrum Eyeshadow Palette. I'm using the color Gold Mine here. I'm going to go and I'm going to do a transition shade. Just sweeping from the inner eye to the outer eye in a kind of window washer motion, but just to one direction. I'm going to take some of my setting spray. I'm going to apply it to the brush. This is just going to help that color really stand out and help the pigment display properly. I'm going to spray again. And just go over that transition shade again with Gold Mine. Alright, and then I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush, and this is the color Calabrese. Apply my setting spray to the brush, and I'm going to go over the lower eyelid with this rich yellow tone. Alright, so I'm just, as you can see, I've got one side done. I just need to do the other side with the eyeshadow for the lower eyelid, adding that setting spray to just really help that color pop. Generally, I would do sort of a downward motion on the eyelid with the brush facing upwards or vertical, just to apply it properly, but I was having some difficulty getting the pigment to show up, so I really wanted to kind of sweep it on there. You see, I'm having to use a lot of product. Starting to show up a little bit better here. And here we go. I'm doing the correct way of applying eyeshadow to the lower lid now. Doing kind of that downwards pulling motion on the eyelid. Now that I'm kind of getting the pigment to show up. Alright, and then what I'm doing here is as I'm going over my transition shade with my blending crease brush. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my smudge brush with Sweet Peach. I'm going to use Nectar there. And I'm just going to do an inner eye highlight and a brow highlight. Just making sure it's nice and even on both sides, looking consistent. Alright, there we go. And then the next thing I'm going to do is my brow highlight, which is one of my favorite things, aside from doing the eyebrows themselves. There you go, and I just want to, I've actually gone in a little bit too early there. I did the second one a little better, so it should be just in the arch. I've come a little bit too close to the center of my nose there. It should really just be right in that sweet spot right in the arch. Alright. Now we got a nice brow highlight in there. Yeah, shadow is looking nice. And I think I'm just going to touch it up a little bit. Make sure I'm getting that nice yellow pigment in there. Alright, so it looks like next thing I'm doing here is I am giving my eyeliner a nice vigorous shake and I'm going to apply some eyeliner here. Liquid liner is always a little bit scary. As I say, my rule with liquid eyeliner is quit while you're ahead. Don't break it if it's not already broken. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. Get in, get out. Because I find when I spend too long on it, that's where I mess up. And just give it another shake. When little particles inside the liquid eyeliner are kind of clumped together, you can kind of see it's happening in the corner there. What will happen is it will kind of make a mess of your eyeliner, so it's just good to always give it a nice shake. Make sure it's not too clumpy. Alright, eyeliner looks decent there. Probably not the best job I've ever done. That's a nice touch up there. Just trying to make it a little bit more even on the other side there. And just clean up the under eye there, okay. Alright, now I'm just prepping my eyelashes for false eyelashes. So I'm going to apply about 2 to 3 coats of mascara. It's not a good idea to try to put on falsies without first applying mascara, because if you think about it, you really need something for those false lashes to grip onto. And with no product on your eyelashes, they're just going to slip right off. Alright. Oh, you found it. Good girl. Okay, so there's my Becca palette. I'm going to be doing a highlighter just while I'm waiting for my mascara to dry. When I come right down the bridge of the nose, I'm going to apply some highlighter to the tip of the nose, just to contour the nose, make the bridge look more pronounced, and make the tip look more pointed. And just blend that in really nicely there. And I'm going to take my fan brush so I can highlight my cheekbones just over that contour that I did earlier. There's a nice fanning motion there. You can see that highlighter just fluffing into the air there. And then I'm going to do the other side, just in a nice arched motion, kind of upwards. The brush makes it very easy to do the correct motion there. Yeah. Alright, and this is my Urban Decay Naked Illuminating Powder, just to give that highlighter a little bit of kick and punch, a little sparkle. Yeah, it gives it a nice touch. And I just want a tiny little highlight to the chin and the forehead there. Alright, this is my second coat of mascara now. Just prepping the eyelashes for the false eyelashes. Alright, so that's one of my MAC lipsticks. That one is Snob, that's Pink Pigeon there. I'm actually going to mix these two together to make sort of like a dual chromatic ombre tone to the lip. You can see I'm kind of getting a cool kind of, sort of like almost an ombre where it's light at the bottom and then light at the top again, and then a nice rich tone in the middle. Just saying a quick prayer about these false eyelashes, hoping that they go on smoothly. Here's my Duo Lash Glue. I will be applying some of that Duo Lash Glue to the false eyelashes. And that was my Voluminous Mascara by L'Oreal. And I'm just waiting for that lash glue to dry there and applying it. Alright, now I'm gonna wait, have a drink. Alright, so how's this gonna go? I've said my prayer to sweet Jesus, so hopefully I can get these lashes on. Oh. Alright, and then you're just going to kind of press them in, make sure they are secure, and you can kind of squeeze them so they are properly attached to your eyelashes. I kind of like to do a pulling, squeezing motion to squeeze the false lash to the real eyelash. Other side. Oh, I got a little glue there. See if I can, yeah, there we go. And I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of squeeze it together. You can just kind of press it down, just make sure they're nice and snug. They're not going to fall off on you during the day. And what I like to do, I like to just add a little bit of mascara to the eyelashes. So I'm going to take my voluminous mascara again. I'm just going to go lightly over the falsies and my eyelashes, get them nice and pretty. So it looks like I'm done here. Set it, don't forget it. I'm going to set it twice. So nice I set it twice. And I'm going to just dry off my setting spray. And that is my completed look. Summer Lemonade. Thank you for watching.